I have watched a lot of videos where y'all was saying when they're done with us Mexicans and Venezuelans and all these other people, they're coming for y'all black people. No, they're not. In order to come for us, they're gonna have to tell us where we're from. To deport us, they're gonna have to deport us where we're from. And that's a big secret America never wants to let out. They never want us to know where we're from. That's why they erased our history because they don't want us to know where we're from. So to deport us, it's not going to happen. I've sympathized with y'all, I do, but we are not in the same boat with y'all. They will never deport us because they never want that secret to come out.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American or Black didn't find themselves to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And with all the distractions going on now, basketball, softball, baseball, uh, trials, with all the distractions going on, this thing that's going on in California, this so-called holiday today, nothing but distractions. That's all it is. So just keep this in mind because in 2 days, summer starts. Really good time. Really good time. That's why we're going to have to get back into the time of the planet. We're out of that time. We're working in opposition to it. And that's why with so-called Black people and African American people, things don't work out as planned because they're all off Earth time. Hell, they celebrate New Year in the dead of winter. This is 90% of the people. So these things you can't pass down to the kids because it'll just confuse them even more. So all this stuff that's going on is just to distract you. Keep your mind off of what's going on. And, and what I want to pass on tonight is this. You're a part of all of this. You're a part of nature. I know you don't believe it. Not all of you, of course. But there are some people out there that just don't understand what I'm saying. And I'm trying to be as simple, point blank, truthful as possibly can, knowing the condition that most of our people are in. And the problem is not hunger. If you starving in America, you're dumb. That's all they manufacture here is food. And I mean, if you just simply read the labels, you would see that it's not food. Nothing that grows out of the ground or comes off a tree has a label. I mean, you would think we would get that. Majority of people don't. Don't. Arrogant, don't care on something else. We're going to talk about that tonight, what that is. And this is why the focus isn't where it should be on. Somebody tells us we're something. We take what they tell us and believe that's us. Right? Isn't that how it works? Somebody tells you you're African American. You don't question it. You don't try to figure it out. You just say, yeah, boss, that's what I is. And this is about damn near everything in your life that you do. So, a lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people run from what I'm saying because they know they have to deal with it. and we all have to deal with it. But when we coming in one step, everybody lays down. That's why you have to be distracted. You have to be. You can't come together. You can't see a loving man and a loving woman wrapped in each other's arms. You can't see that. Why? Because they know soon after some more of those are going to be coming through. That picture has to be out of your mind. You can't even think about it, which is the reason why I'm saying distractions. So you never think about anything. Try to figure this out. How you going to place the kids into the world scene? What are they going to be? Are they just going to be black people? That's what most people are going to teach their children. And what does the world, I'm not talking about black people, what does the world think about black? I mean, it's some documentaries out there about the early 1900s of what your people thought the word black meant. What would happen? And when it's used against you, because it's never used for you, because it's not that type of term, nobody is that. But when you say it's you, tag, you're it. Isn't that how it goes? Isn't that how your music start to muck everything up? You trained your women that they were bitches and hoes. They started bouncing their head to it. How's that going? 30, 35 years ago, Oprah Winfrey came out with a dude talking about on the down low. How's that going? This is the stuff that happens to Black people, African Americans, time, time again. And it's my contention. I'm just saying, I know I don't get cussed out. I don't think that's the ideology to pass down to the next generation. I don't think that's what should be passed down. With this AI coming in now, they're making children into adults. What's that? Does that seem weird? Or is that just me? Babies are comedians now, basketball players, got beards. Does that seem kind of creepy? That's what's flooding the black waves, airwaves. You know, being that there's airwaves, you have a lot of leeway with that. And this what really pisses me off when black people talk. They don't know nothing about nature. This guy almost cussed me out today, talking about nature isn't nothing. And I just asked him, and this dude was older than me. I said, "Sir, is the air you're breathing part of nature?" You should have seen the look on his face. Yeah, so what do you mean nature? Explain. And he couldn't. He just had there with that dumb look on his face. Don't think about nothing. That's the Black American, African American. They're just told what to do and they do it. I don't care what it is. They're trained. It happens over time. Like we were talking about Oprah Winfrey 35 years ago. 35 years ago, they were, still have bookstores and they have book clubs and stuff. And all that, a lot of people went and had book club meetings on that type of activity 30 years ago. So when you speak about today, how bad you got it, no, you ain't had it no worse than anybody else. That's to separate us, to keep us apart, so we won't be that what to whatever's ailing any of us, to wipe that out. We don't even think about how to make that happen because we have been trained to be black, to be African American, to be inward. We've been trained to be that. You're not that. The N word is in you. It's like a parasite and it just controls you. That's all. You're not that. When these people came over here, your people didn't tell them that they were black. They introduced themselves. We're the Tallapoosa people. We're the Lettahatchee people. We had our own names, our own customs, our own way to look at the world. We've just been trained to look at it through their eyes. We wanted to integrate with them, right? Didn't we? See, when you ask the African American Negro that thing, well, yeah, stop playing with it. Say what it is. Oops, we made a mistake and go the other way. Or come up with a plan to do what's next. You just keep doing that same dumb stuff over and over again. It's not going to work. Don't you know that by now? Hmm? So, you have a holiday celebrating when people had was under slavery. This the whole story is nonsense, but this is the premise. Juneteenth is a holiday that people celebrate when they found out 2 years later that they were free. What? What? And you got people that will argue. Not that, boom, we emptied all the jails. Not that we came up with a way to educate all our children in all states. Nothing like that. We came up with a way to transport ourselves to another location without the use of gasoline or nothing like that. We don't do that. Never. All the Black African American does is thinking about is destroying themselves. That's what the term black means. Black shades. When you put shades over your eyes, you're blocking out everything that's in front of you. Same concept. The black eyelash eyeliner stuff that the guys who play football and baseball wear under their eyes to block out the sun. It's not an endearing term. We munch on that stuff. Teach our kids that they're that and act like you're gonna get something from that. And always lose. Always. Never wins. Only use to make other people better. People can come up with teams, put you on it, and you'll win them $1 million, but won't even think about doing it for yourselves. And that's not going to take one or two people or one or two corporations. That's going to take everyone. And that's why you're distracted, to keep you separated from doing that. Have your own teams. I mean, isn't that kind of a bit embarrassing by now? You got you can't even you can't even control your funds to make anything work for you. Explain. Hmm? You don't have football, basketball, baseball teams all around here, and you've been here longer than everybody else. Explain. Please, somebody explain. I mean, look, I'm gonna put the link to the chat in the chat. Check this out. Explain. Explain. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm just saying explain. I'm just saying if a country, a bunch of Indians can come over here and run the hotel industry, so-called black people, African American people, can do that. See, when we bring up these questions, I'll be bringing up these questions for my students to answer. They can't answer. Why is that so difficult? How can people come over here from other countries and wipe their feet on the black man's face? And the black man lays there with his tongue out. How does that happen? And he gets mad when you bring the subject up. Why is it mad? Why is that? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. You can't go to China and sell incense in the street. You can't go to Africa and sell oils on the street. They simply wouldn't support you. But guess what you do? Every time somebody comes over here, try to buy them out of house and home, plus a tip, don't you? Right? How come you don't have uh bars? What's the bar name where the ladies be in there looking all cute? Hooters. How come you don't have your own version of that where you're not going in there shooting and killing? But we can't have that. How did people your grandmama used to cook for now cook for you? Chain restaurants. Where's across the fried chicken places, fish places, Africa? These are foreign owned entities that the Negro supports and will slap you in your mouth if you tell him he shouldn't do that. Hey, shouldn't you have a line of fishermen that's east of the Mississippi getting all your fish, shipping it out to the West Coast and the East Coast? Well, the East Coast, well, they have their own fish. But isn't that a nice business model? How come we don't do that? How come we don't do that? How come everything we get, we got to get it from somebody else? I bet you go through your house now, get a sheet of paper, draw a middle down it, put foreign items bought, items of the person I know made. I know many of you probably don't realize, and this wasn't that long ago, the furniture was made in North Carolina. The furniture was made in North Carolina. Why? Because they had some bad woodworkers back then. This one long, this 40 years ago, 30 years ago. What happened? You integrated into a corporation and became employees of that corporation, didn't you? Say it. See, once you say it and understand it, then you'll then you'll make the right decision. That's what you did. You do not know how many people I talk to daily that realize they went through their whole lives not, they knew if they knew they had to get better, smarter, wiser because they had to leave that to their kids, but they didn't do that. They wanted to clown, dance, go to parties, wasted time. All the parties you went to, all of them, wasted time. Now let's take all that time and energy and use it for something else. It can be used for that. Oh, we ain't into that. We ain't want to do that. I want to do what I want to do. All this stuff you see going on right now, the Diddy trial, folks gossiping about that. You notice that's the only thing that mainstream media, these platforms is talking about somebody else, gossiping, snitching, Tomming. For real. That's it. When you try to go get some information, it's non-existent. And it's something about that TikTok that's, they're really cut down on speech. And I tell the people when they cut down on your speech, it's cutting down on your thoughts. They don't care. They're changing your words. You don't have nothing to say. What you call African American and what you call black, don't. They're waiting to be told what to do. Tell me I'm lying. You better let your kids know this. You just can't go around just being mad. Oh, it doesn't work. We don't see that. This is right in our face. This is what you're going to pass off to your kids. You can see how the adults communicate. That lady that I showed when we first started, she said what she said was so simple. If they deport you, they're going to have to tell you where you come from, aren't they? They're not going to tell you that. This is what we've been trying to say. And listen, I really appreciate you guys because you guys get it. African Americans ain't Africans. It's not hard. It's easier than tying your shoes. Some people try to make a big fuss out of it, arguing. Don't even just keep it going. So you see how it's going. People are finding out now. People are finding out now. They're not black. Imagine going around your whole life calling yourself something that you're not. You begin to be it. If I tell you you ain't nothing, you don't tell a kid they ain't nothing. What? These people can tell you anything. You won't you won't argue it. You won't even say prove it. You'll just say, yes, boss, I'm that. Don't you? Black man never wins ever and teaches his child to call themselves that. That's not evil. That's not evil. Yeah, well, what do we call ourselves? Listen, you come from a place around here in America, wherever you are. The places where you are, remember, you want to be part of the corporation. You walked away from the place that produced all this stuff that everybody's coming to get. You walked away from that. You wanted to be a New Yorker. You wanted to live in all these towns where these foreigners were coming over, setting up. You wanted to go build their towns, didn't you? Don't lie. We built this country. Please don't say that no more. It's embarrassing. So if you built it, part of it is yours. You set it up. Just let your kids know that because you see that the people are seeing what's going on now. You can't keep people dumb for too long. Now, you can keep a generation and a half. You can't keep people too dumb for long. They're going to figure it out. The majority of people won't, but all it takes is that little spark. People start just figuring out stuff. They start thinking. They start eating better. They start reading the labels on the food. They start going down to the water companies and want to get a idea what's in the water. Not everybody does it. Don't, but a few people do. There's people that try to be their own lawyer. No, no, I'm sorry. My mistake. They don't try to be their own lawyers. They go up against the lawyers because the lawyers are what? Liars. Same word, same word, same word. These are things we got to know. We got to let these kids know that. Anybody can say anything. What do you say? And when it comes to the African American Black people, they only say what they hear others say. Right, wrong. Imagine, imagine going to France and telling those people they're something else. You couldn't even fathom it. Imagine going to Africa, Central African Republic, you drop right there, smack dab in the middle, and telling those people who they are. Could you do that? Hell no. Anybody can come over here and tell you anything. Guess what you do? Whatever you say, boss. Don't you? Then you teach your children that. And that's the change, y'all. And just because you do it don't mean you have to do it forever. Stop it. You know it's wrong. Yes. I'm just saying, think about the babies being born today. Just thinking about the world you handing off to them. Are they going to have any content to their character? Or they're just going to be what you see now? All this stuff that's going on that you see as a distraction, pay attention to you. Like I said, we're going into summer in a couple of days. You're a part of nature. You're a part of it. No, you don't like to hear that, but you're a part of nature. You have hairs on your body. You have hairs on your face, inside your ear, when you're in the bed with your significant other. If they breathe on your neck, it sends kind of like a shock down your back. If they snuggle up next to you and rub their hands on your body, it stimulates you. That's just to let you know what's going on around you. Focus on that. You can perceive things. Hairs pick up signals. That's why you see in everybody growing the locks now, they picking up signals. That's all cable is. Same thing. You're connected to this planet, continuing to act like you don't or don't care, going to put you in a very bad situation going forward. You have animals over here that communicates with you. But if you're not into that, you know, you have insects. You have birds that communicate with you. We've been trained away from that and being trained to be black. Right? All we want to talk about is what somebody else said or what we're programmed. It's not a good look, especially when outsiders come here to feast on you. Isn't that what's happening? So all the stuff that's going on is a distraction. Pay attention to you, your family, your friends, your kin, wherever your family is. If you're in Los Angeles and your people are down south, tighten up that connection because you're going to need each other in the near future. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We'll see you next time. Peace.